I often get asked, how can I reduce my client's pain, typically by 50% within 3 to 5 weeks using my programs? And I thought I would simply talk it out on a video on how it works, and why it's so effective. First point is number one, I don't do what everybody else does. As a physical therapist for over 30 years, I was treating the same generic way that most physical therapists do, doing some manual therapy, but then doing the generic exercises that anybody can find on YouTube or Google. And I found that the first 15 years of my career, when I would do that, in addition to some decompression, some heat, maybe some massage and ultrasound, that I would get some good relief for my clients, but it was mostly temporary relief. About 15, maybe 20% of my clients started to get some long lasting relief, but to me, that was unacceptable. That meant that 80 to 85% of my clients were not getting long term relief by the traditional physical therapy approach. So I researched, as I owned 3 clinics at the time in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. I took notes. I watched responses. I was very scientific about how I was approaching the relief for my sciatica clients, and I just wasn't satisfied. So what happened was, in about 2007, 2008, I stumbled across a course in continuing education that totally flipped everything on its head and basically had me treating people 180 degrees opposite of what I had learned from all the back and sciatica gurus. And when I started implementing these principles, my sciatica clients started seeing dramatic improvement. It had nothing to do with their medications, the injections, or surgery. It was all about balancing out the imbalances in your body. Because here's what I learned. I learned that our bodies are basically one huge system that works together, especially our musculoskeletal system. We've got a skeleton that has muscles and tendons and ligaments that hold it together and that cause the bones to move. Muscles contract, bones move. That's the way our body works. That's why when you have sciatica, you're probably going to have a misalignment of your hips, or your pelvis is going to be rotated, simply because your muscles are compensating when you're in pain. And the reason your muscles compensate is to try to keep you functions with as minimal pain as possible while protecting the area of the problem so it doesn't get worse. So your body compensates to keep you functioning and to minimize pain. But what happens is, when your body compensates, there's stress and tension through your body, right side versus left side. And I tell people, think of somebody walking around on a bad sprained ankle. Their body is doing this even though the problem is down by their ankle, because your whole body compensates to try to keep you as comfortable as possible while you're functioning, while protecting the area that's problematic. Now, the big problem with this is, as your body compensates, this pulls over here, this pulls over here. Your body is out of balance, right side versus left side, and that causes tension through your entire body, stress through your musculoskeletal system. And if you can't picture what that looks like, think of a back tire blowing out in your car. What happens to the steering wheel when you are driving? The steering wheel is going to pull because the rest of the car has to make up for what that tire is not normally doing. Or forget a blowout. Just if you have a flat tire on one side or very low tire pressure on one tire, it's going to cause a stress through the entire body of the car, and you're going to feel it through the steering wheel. In the same way, your body is a complete system. And when you have pain, tightness, stiffness, soreness in one part of your body, every other part of your body is going to feel that resistance, feel that stress, and compensate, which throws the balance of your body off, right side versus left side. So now you have your body imbalanced, which causes extra stress and tension through your body. And when you come to physical therapy or chiropractor or to a doctor, we typically get so focused on the area of the problem and trying to calm down the irritation of the problem that we neglect the rest of the areas. And that's why, for many of my clients, they're on their fourth, fifth, sixth round of episodic pain with sciatica, or maybe it just started with some back, a little niggle or a little tenderness in your back that you've had on and off through the years. But you notice that as time goes on, the symptoms are lasting a little bit longer or maybe getting a little bit more intense, that's because the rest of your body is still not in balance, and it is causing that problem to crop up again and again and again. So your body's basically fighting against itself when it's out of balance, right side versus left side, which adds stress through your body. And guess what happens? The area that is the weakest or most susceptible to problems, it will chronically become problematic over and over because your body's not focused on healing. It's focused on battling against itself because of the extra stress and tension. So what I do is I look at the body as a complete system. And one thing that worked incredibly well for my wife when she had a flare-up a couple of years back was balancing out her shoulder imbalance, because we found out that when she was doing Invisalign and it was affecting her jaw, it was affecting her shoulders, and she was out of alignment and imbalanced in her shoulders because one side was really tight, trying to protect the shoulder, the neck, and the jaw. And when we got that back in balance, her sciatica symptoms calmed down quickly. So that is why it's not impossible to take care of sciatica problems by balancing out other parts of your body. And that's what I focus on. I treat your body holistically, and holistically with a W, because we look at your whole body, all the imbalances that are going on to try to protect that back, SI, joint, muscular issue, whatever the cause of the sciatica, it doesn't matter. It can be a herniated disc, a bulging disc, it can be stenosis, it can be an SI joint dysfunction, it can be piriformis syndrome, it can be dead butt syndrome, it can actually be trochanteric bursitis in your hip. It doesn't matter the cause, because if we can balance out the imbalances in your body will focus on healing, and you'll be putting your body in an optimal position to heal. So the reason people can get out of pain in 3 to 5 weeks, usually 50% improvement, and by 8 weeks, we're looking at anywhere from 50 to 80% improvement, because once we teach you how to assess for your imbalances, how to treat your imbalances, and balance your body out, guess what happens? Pain calms down, your body relaxes, tension eases, the physical stress in your body calms down, so that the extra tension that all these imbalances are causing no longer affect the area of the problem, so your body can actually focus on healing. And yes, if you have a bulging or a herniated disc, guess what? The area around it is going to be tight. But Dean, you don't understand. The herniated disc is touching the nerve. Well, if we can calm down the tension around that area, guess what happens? There's less pressure. The bulge or the herniation is not nearly as big as it was when everything was tightened around it and compressing it and squeezing that disc. So we can actually decrease the pressure on a nerve by calming down the imbalances in your body, so that your body can be in a great position to heal. And then once we balance out your body, that's when we focus on stabilizing your core, stabilizing your glutes, getting your muscles stable to hold you in a balanced position. You see, core stability is great for overall health, but if you try to start stabilizing your pelvis and stabilizing your core and strengthening your glutes and your hamstring muscles when your body is out of balance, all you're doing is reinforcing the abnormal muscle patterns and the imbalances and holding your body in a position that is not ideal for healing. So for long-term healing, medications is not a long-term sustainable solution, because our bodies hate the foreign substances. And we know what anti-inflammatories and pain medications do to our insides and our liver. Taking any of the pentins and the lyricas, those things mess with the chemical makeup of your brain. Nobody wants to be on medications long-term. Even though they may calm down the symptoms, they're doing nothing to balance out the imbalances that are holding your symptoms hostage. So by balancing out your body and then stabilizing yourself, we are looking for long-term healing, long-term solution. And the one thing I tell my clients is, in order for you to have long-term solutions to a sciatica issue, your body must be balanced, and not only balanced, but stable in that balanced position, so that no matter what comes your way, you trip, you fall, or something happens that's out of the ordinary, the stability of your body will be able to help stabilize so that your sciatica doesn't have to flare up nearly like it did the first time, because discs do take time to heal. Arthritis problems, if you can get the body balanced, guess what? The joints that are arthritic are not going to be grinding and as tight and as irritated as they were, and your arthritis can actually calm down over time. If you have a cyst, the cyst will actually not be in a position that's irritating as much because your body is balanced. So it doesn't matter the cause of your sciatica. If you can balance out the imbalances in your body that either cause the sciatica to start with or definitely were a result of the pain from the sciatica, your body can heal because our bodies were created to heal themselves over time. I hope this makes sense. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like some help calming down your symptoms and getting your body finally to heal like you deserve so that you can function in the way you want, please click the link in the description below this video so that we can get you set up for a strategy session to talk about your symptoms, to show you how simple it is to start balancing out your body and get you pointed in the right direction into the right program to get you the maximal value and to get you the healing you deserve.